Today we're checking out the new ProSteer axles from Injora for the SCX24. These are going to give us some good track width for some extra stability. They're going to give us better steering angle over stock, and they're made of aluminum, so it's going to give us some extra strength. All for a very competitive price point of $70 for the pair. Let's open these up and check them out. So they come front and rear. You can get each individually, or you can buy them in a set. Front first. They're available in two different color options. You can get one with red accents, or you can get the black. I got the all black here. You see they come pre-assembled except for the steering linkage. These are going to be compatible with stock SCX24 worm gear and worm screws. They do come with overdrive gears in the front. You'll be able to use SCX24 diff covers as well, but you will not be able to use aftermarket steering knuckles. So Injora has said that the brass knuckles and accessory knuckles will not work with these. So nice looking housings, very reminiscent of the plus 4mm axles that they offer currently. So that's a 4mm on each side. It's going to give you 8mm total of additional track width. One of the big advantages of that extra width is that you're going to get more stability. Now the SCX24, depending on what model you put it on, pretty tippy from the factory. That extra track width is going to give you a wider stance, hopefully give us some more stability. Also the turning radius on these going to be much improved over the stock axles. Stock axles, don't quote me, but I believe they are right around 37 degrees. These are mechanically limited to 42 degrees. So one of the things that is also cool about these is that they have a 3-section axle design here in the front, which allows for a tremendous steering angle. If we were to, hang on. If you take your axle shaft out, you can see that at nearly 180 degrees with these axles. That's because of the kind of double jointed effect that they have here, very reminiscent of the Mias Racing isokinetic setup. So you have a lot of capabilities here, but Injora has mechanically limited these to 42 degrees. They've also given us lots of hardware here, and we get the brass hexes to go on here with the axles as well. Let's check out the rears. Now the rears, I imagine this can be virtually identical to the Injora plus 4mm that are already on the market. Not much change in the rear. Again, similar with the front, you'll be able to use stock or aftermarket gears in the diffs and also diff covers. The truck that we're going to be putting these on, I'm going to put them on the Lexus, so the new Lexus GX470. This thing is all stock. The only thing I've done is I've repositioned the rear shocks, mount them to the frame. Otherwise, completely stock. So this is going to be a good base to test these out on. So let's make the swap and see how these axles look on the truck. All right guys, here we are all installed. Very simple installation, just a direct swap over, no problem whatsoever. You will need to reuse your rear link risers for your upper rear links. The Injora kit does not come with a new setup there. Otherwise, very simple. Steering linkage, running the stock servo here, has the steering linkage jut out pretty far. Might be able to manipulate that by flipping your link around. I tried it a couple different ways, but I was getting some friction with the diff cover, but I can mess with that. With an aftermarket servo, it will snug that back up where it should be. But they look great on the build. You can see it's a much improved turning radius over the stock axles. Even though these are limited and you can see kind of the bump stops there on the axles, it is still a pretty big improvement over the stock axles. Again, the biggest improvement with these is the stability you gain from the added track width. I did some preliminary tests both on the setup table and on the indoor course, and right off the bat, I mean, the performance that you gain with the added track width on this makes a huge difference on this truck as far as stability goes. We gained a lot of side hill on the setup table and on the course. Appearance wise, this may impact the scale looks. If you really wanted to keep this kind of a true scale overland look, it is going to bump those tires out pretty significantly away from the fenders. But I think it still looks pretty solid. It's got a nice aggressive stance on it. It's not overly wide. Sticking with this size tire, I think you could still maintain a good scale appearance on this truck. So overall, first impressions, I really like these axles on this truck. But why don't we get it on the indoor course, do some runs with it, have some fun, see how this little thing does. It's pouring rain out all weekend, so I probably won't get it outdoors, but at least we can run it inside and have some fun. All right guys, let's have some fun with the baby Lexus here. Good looking axles on here. I like the stance. And I mentioned the scale look, but I don't think it hurts it too bad. This truck's really going to benefit from the wider stance, given how it's more top heavy than others with the scale accessories on it. So I'm anxious to see how it does. We've got the overdrive gears in the front. It's overdriven by about 27% up front, I think. And that means that the front tires are going to spin faster than the rear, which also gives you a little bit of an advantage when it comes to turning radius and uphill climbing. So we've got the tighter turning radius from the axles, and we've got the effect from the overdrive. So the combination should really improve our handling here. Oh, I'm in purgatory here. Popped out, if I can recover. We'll see how this performs. I'm not expecting a whole lot of gains because we didn't change anything else here. Inch my way over. We might not make this. Hand of God action on the canyon. I'll get us up there. I'm going to change out the wheels on this next and put some nice heavy wheels on it. I got the rose gold Little Guy Racing Parts wheels. Those look good on here, and I'll get some sticky tires too. That should help. Nice tight turning rear. We're able to make that nice and clean. I don't anticipate us making up Hell's Gate or the escalator, so I'm going to cut across here and we'll do a side hill. I already did a quick comparison for the side hill. Very impressed with the improvements on the side hill from the added track width. Lots more stability. There we go, nice. It's a big improvement. Glad to see that. I'll take one more spin around. Too bad the weather didn't cooperate this weekend. I'd love to take this thing outdoors, but maybe tomorrow. We'll see. Inch my way down there. Oh, hanging on for dear life here. Jeez. So despite the improvements, the stock-ish Lexus here still needs a lot of help for stability and for real crawling ability, but this is a good start. Great options out there for axles now, and this is just another one for sure. Alright, I doubt we'll make it up the canyon, so I'll probably wrap it up here, and I will see you guys at the bench for my final thoughts. Alright guys, lots of great options out there for aftermarket axles. These are certainly another set to consider. Great price point at $70 for the pair, front and back. Get that nice added track width. We get the improved steering angle. Overdrive gears in the front already included, and stainless steel steering linkage going to tighten up that steering way better than stock. Couple of drawbacks on these. It's a bummer that they don't accept aftermarket knuckles, including Injora's own brass knuckles. So the ability to add that nice unsprung weight, which these things really need out of the box, you're going to be limited. You can put the diff covers on there, add some weight, but for right now, we don't have any knuckle options for these. A bit of a bummer that we're limited to just 42 degrees of steering angle on these. These three-piece axles, as we saw, have tremendous steering angle ability. So it would have been nice to see 45 plus degrees, which you could probably achieve if you wanted to ground down that bump stop there. I might give that a try, but nonetheless, you do gain a few degrees of steering over the stock setup. But overall, I think this is another great option for axle housings. Certainly for the price, there's a lot of bang for the buck here. But guys, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. What do you think of these ProSteer axles from Injora? And as always, I appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so, and I'll see you in the next video.